They're like, oh man, like this is really happening.
Coming up on UCF Nightly News, the UCF Faculty Union is fighting for benefits for its members. Find out what happened at a recent meeting.
Plus, the new UCF Chief of Police wants to bring changes to the department. Find out how body cams bring new safety measures for officers.
And find out how first-generation students can apply for new scholarships.
And in sports, UCF football is back. Find out how the Knights are preparing for their Saturday night matchup with South Carolina State.
Nightly News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Olivia Parsons. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Olivia Parsons.
And I'm Cassidy Delamarter. Today is Friday, September 7th, 2018.
UCF faculty is negotiating new contracts with the university administration for the next academic year. The process is moving forward, but the desires of the faculty and administration are not fully lining up. The United Faculty of Florida is a union that represents faculty members at colleges and universities throughout the state. Wednesday night, the UCF chapter of the faculty union met to discuss plans, contract proposals, and strategies moving forward. Union leadership says more than 150 faculty members were there.
It just shows that faculty are standing together, asking for respect for our students, respect for creating equitable workspaces so that we can do our best for our students, and asking for a good contract that shows respect for faculty.
Based on their proposals, we are very concerned about their trying to restrict and reduce paid parental leave.
Union leaders say other early areas of disagreement include raises, annual evaluations. The next official round of contract negotiations will begin on September 25th.
The happiest place on earth just got happier for its cast members. On Thursday, workers voted to approve a new contract to gradually raise the starting minimum wage. The Services Trade Council union says the minimum wage will reach $15 an hour by 2021. 38,000 cast members will receive this raise. This includes characters, lifeguards, housekeepers, retail workers, drivers, and those in food and beverage. Cast members will see the first raise on their paychecks in December.
UCF's new police chief is working on big changes this semester. That includes a new style of body camera for police officers. Nightly News caught up with Chief Carl Metzger about this change in technology.
You've seen body cam like this before, but what happens if an officer forgets to turn the camera on? UCF Police Chief Carl Metzger is working to make sure that's not an issue.
As a deputy chief, I wore a body camera. So we thought we were in good shape until several high-profile incidents took place around the country.
He wants to eliminate the process of an officer having to activate the camera.
When an officer is engaged in something serious, when they're defending another person or themselves, when lives are at risk, they shouldn't have to think about the body camera.
This new policy will automatically turn on an officer's body camera when they unholster their gun.
If they draw a sidearm, if they turn on a taser, if they turn on their blue lights, then every officer's camera within a 30-foot radius would automatically start recording. Not just the one officer, every officer. So we get every angle of an incident. Because sometimes one angle is not enough.
Rachel Maddie is a criminal defense attorney. She says she's dealt with cases outside of UCF where the officer's report didn't match up to what was seen on video.
He read the police report and, he said it's exaggerated, that's not at all how it went.
Maddie says the first thing she asks for is body cam evidence.
And in response to watching the video, the judge ruled that there was no probable cause to arrest him.
She says body cam video can make or break a case.
Without that body camera video, it would have been very difficult for us to ask a judge to find that cop was being untrue.
Axon is the company that supplies UCF's police department's body cam technology. The company claims their devices will lower the number of false complaints and use of force.
And Chief Metzger says with the university's 2.2 square mile radius, an officer can be anywhere on campus in less than a minute. He says in the meantime, he continues to encourage staff and students to use the See Something, Say Something initiative if they suspect anything suspicious on campus.
About 1 in every 4 students at UCF is a first-generation student. President Dale Whitaker has created a scholarship opportunity for these students. The president and his office received a 2% raise this year. They are donating all the money from their raise to fund scholarships for first-generation students. The Assistant Vice President of Board of Trustees, Chad Bennett, says the state matches $2 for every dollar donated. Over 5 years, the donation is expected to add almost $1 million in value. He says the president and vice president feel very strongly about first-generation students and their success.
Well, this is money that would have gone to our president and vice presidents in the form of raises, and they really believe in supporting first-generation students and the power of helping first-generation students earn degrees.
According to Bennett, all students who are eligible should apply for the scholarship online on the financial aid website or talk to faculty in financial aid.
The Orange County Health Department is trying to prevent hepatitis A from spreading throughout Central Florida. Hepatitis A is a highly contagious liver infection that spreads through contaminated food and water. The Orange County Health Department and UCF partnered up to host hepatitis A vaccination events for students. The health department website reported 2 cases of hepatitis A in Central Florida this year alone. However, the average is only 1 case per year. Nursing program specialist Karen McKenzie hopes this program will help prevent future outbreaks.
Lately, we have been noticing an increase in our locally acquired cases, and that's of concern to us because it's not something we typically see. And so we want to get ahead of the game and just making sure that our community and our population is immunized.
UCF helped 37 students receive hepatitis A vaccinations at the event Wednesday night.
UCF's downtown campus is less than a year away from being completed. The expected open date is next fall, August 2019. The campus will cover 68 acres of land, including housing, parking, and transportation centers to and from UCF's main campus. It will be within a 15-minute radius from businesses and internship opportunities. The building is a partnership involving UCF and Valencia College. They're expecting to have about 8,000 students. The campus is hoped to hold 15,000 students in the near future.
UCF announced last month there will be a new process for students to receive football and basketball home game tickets. Before, students had to show their ID in order to get into the games, but now students are required to go to ucfstudenttix.com on their mobile device to make an account. Students then must sign up to receive a text message as to when they can download their UCF game day ticket. Associate Athletics Director of Brand Advancement, Jimmy Skiles, says the new process will prevent the student section from becoming overpopulated during games.
We've always been able to just overflow students into other sections after we reach capacity in the student section. This year we won't be able to do that with the amount of season tickets we've sold, which again is a great problem to have.
And if you're a student looking to attend tomorrow's first game of the season, make sure to bring both your student ID and mobile ticket in order to enter the game.
A new UCF president means new challenges, but this challenge isn't necessarily a bad one. UCF Athletics Director Danny White challenged new President Dale Whitaker yesterday to join UCF students in the annual Spirit Splash event. But there's a catch for this challenge that only students can control.
Yes! Hey, Danny White. You know I'm down for a good challenge. Okay, Knights, let's pack Spectrum Stadium this Saturday in every home game until November 9th for the greatest tradition in college sports, and that is Spirit Splash. And I tell you what, if 50,000 of you show up between now and November 9th to support our Knights, the most powerful offense in college sports, you bet I'm going to go into that pond with you for Spirit Splash. Go Knights! Charge on!
President Whitaker challenge accepted. Cassidy, are you going to be at next month's Spirit Splash?
I'm hoping to. Emily, what's the weather looking like?
Well, let's hope that for Spirit Splash it is a little cooler, but I mean, it's October in Florida, who knows? Today we're looking at 90 degrees outside right now, humidity at 70%, so definitely a little sticky out there. Winds are coming in from the east at 8 miles per hour, and the chance of rain and thunderstorms later in the afternoon is 60%, so make sure you stay dry. And coming up later, I'll have your full 5-day forecast. Now back to the desk.
Coming up after the break, the one-year anniversary of Hurricane Maria brings together UCF Puerto Rican students.
Plus, a group of students take part in events celebrating National Hispanic Heritage Month. The one-year anniversary of the hurricane that left Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands devastated. The one-year anniversary of the hurricane that left Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands devastated is this month. Hurricane Maria inflicted about $90 billion worth of damage and displaced thousands of residents. Nightly News tells us how UCF is welcoming new and returning Puerto Rican students this semester. UCF hosted a welcome dinner for new and returning Puerto Rican students who were displaced because of Hurricane Maria. The Puerto Rico Research Hub, Office of Diversity and Inclusion, and the Latino Faculty and Staff Association all came together to welcome students with traditional food and music. Director of the Puerto Rico Research Hub, Fernando Rivera, says the purpose was for students to enjoy themselves, despite the circumstances they came to UCF on.
In these trying times, at least celebrate a little bit and welcome those students that came here to UCF.
More than 240 Puerto Rican students recently started classes at UCF. In this very room, Puerto Rican students from the University of Central Florida are gathered here today to celebrate yet another semester. Students came in large numbers from Puerto Rico to UCF after the Board of Trustees unanimously voted to extend in-state tuition through spring of 2019. Jose Hernandez transferred from the University of Puerto Rico to UCF in January. Hernandez says he's grateful for all the help he's received from UCF, but it's tough being away from his family in Puerto Rico.
I want to make my parents very proud because they're working very hard for me to be here. They're spending a lot, so that's my first priority, to make them proud.
UCF is now home to a growing minority enrollment that is approaching 50% of the student body. Together, they formed a large Puerto Rican student association to unite students during their journey at UCF. In Orlando, Cassidy Delamarter, UCF Nightly News. The Puerto Rican Student Association is the first of its kind. It serves to ensure its members excel at UCF by providing leadership and personal growth guidance. PRSA plans to look after the progress of the Puerto Rican community in Orlando and Central Florida.
UCF students are dancing away for the start of National Hispanic Heritage Month. Last night, students came out to Lake Claire for the Salsa Under the Stars. This event marks the first of many to come for the month. Students were able to learn 2 different types of salsa dances and got the chance to try some Hispanic food. Sigma Lambda Gamma Chapter President Nicole Diaz says it's important to have different interactive ways to learn about different cultures with such a diverse university.
There's a lot of professional development stuff on campus, but there's not a lot of cultural things. So I just feel like with such a big campus, we need to be able to educate everyone on matters that aren't just like schoolwork related, but also something that they have to interact with every day, being on such a diverse campus.
The next Hispanic Heritage event will be UCF's very first Festival Latino on Monday, September 17th. Coming up, we're taking a look at the tropics.
Plus, new bikes appear all over campus. Find out more about the new company making student transportation easier. .500 bright green bikes can now be seen all over UCF. These new bikes coexist with the current bike share program. Nightly News reporter Nathaniel Rivas tells us more about the partnership of the new Lime bikes and the current Bike and Gold program.
Flashy new bikes from the company Lime can now be found in bike racks, on sidewalks, or in front of buildings on campus. UCF student Wilmara Guerrero likes using the new bikes for convenience.
This campus is humongous, and I just wish I could get to places quicker, and it just feels good to have a bike to do it.
At $1 per ride, the bikes provide an extra mode of transportation.
Students can use the app on the phone to locate a nearby bike and scan the QR code located above the lock. This will unlock the bike and allow for a smooth ride.
The previous bike share program, called Bike and Gold, now offers rental options ranging in periods for a week, a month, or the whole semester with weekly checkups. UCF student and bike repairman Nick Ayers is looking forward to the long-term rentals.
I love the new system where we don't have bikes in every day to renew. That frees up a lot of time to do other maintenance on students' bikes.
Lime gave UCF the new bikes for no charge. Coordinator Kelly Gill says she feels comfortable with allowing Lime to have bikes on campus.
They were really excited about coming on campus. They were really excited about working in partnership with the current bike share program and Bike and Gold as a whole.
UCF student LeVar Ridgeguard says it's a nice commodity for anyone to use.
They're all over the school, so like wherever you are, you can get it. Same thing, and I think for people like us who don't use bikes very often, it's like just get it and go.
But when needed, a bike can be found around the corner. In Orlando, Nathaniel Rivas, UCF Nightly News.
Students can use their Knights email to receive a 50-cent discount on their next ride. They can sign up in the Lime app. Temperatures right now look like they're in the tropic. Got some Florida weather going on. This afternoon, Emily, what's it looking like?
Thanks, ladies. So right now we are actually tracking a tropical storm. Tropical storm Florence right now is in the Atlantic, moving westerly, and officials predict that by Wednesday, Florence will be a hurricane. But stay tuned. On Wednesday in our newscast, we'll have a full report. Now let's see what our neighbors in the rest of the state are experiencing today. In Tallahassee, a high of 90. In Jacksonville, a high of 88. Down in Tampa, a high of 87. All the way down south in Miami, a high of 87 as well. And here in Orlando, a high of 90. Now let's check out the lows. In Tallahassee, a low of 73. In Jacksonville and Tampa and Orlando, a low of 74. And in Miami, a low of 78. Now let's check out your 5-day forecast. For tomorrow, make sure to pack that extra sunscreen and that rain jacket for the football game. There will be a high of 91, a low of 74, and a 60% chance of thunderstorms probably during tailgating hours. Sunday afternoon will be partly cloudy, a high of 91, a low of 74, and also a 60% chance of storms. Monday and Tuesday will be a high of 91, a low of 75, and a 30% chance of rain. And Wednesday, a high of 91, a low of 75, and 50% chance of rain. Now back to Liv and Cassidy.
Tomorrow, ranked number 19 UCF football returns to the gridiron at Spectrum Stadium. Find out what UCF thinks about the upcoming home opener.
Plus, a strong UCF men's soccer team gets ready for tonight's matchup with West Virginia. Find out how an already strong offensive team might be getting stronger.
College football is back in Florida. The men's and women's soccer teams are battling out on the pitch, and a former UCF men's basketball star is getting his professional career started. I'm Kenzie Hicks, and here's your UCF sports news. UCF football in Orlando is back. The Knights are 1-0 after a big 56-17 win at UConn last week. Now the number 19 team in the country is ready to host South Carolina State in its 2018 home opener. The team will be led by Heisman candidate quarterback Mackenzie Milton, among other normal players on both sides of the ball. However, coach Josh Heupel says Aaron Robinson will not be playing in this game, but that he's doing really well after last week's injury. Here's Heupel on what the team needs to do to be successful tomorrow night.
We don't have a goal board that has point total on it. We don't have anything about yards. We don't talk about that. We talk about playing as hard as we possibly can on the offense side of the ball. We talk about that in all three phases. We talk about the ball offensively securing it. Did a good job of that last week. We talk about on the flip side of the coin defensively going and getting the ball. Those are the two things that we primarily talk about. And then at the end of the day, we want to go 1-0.
The game will kick off at 6 p.m. at Spectrum Stadium tomorrow night. The UCF men's soccer team is back in action tonight as they host West Virginia Mountaineers. The Knights come in on an offensive hot streak as they have scored 6 goals in their last 2 games. UCF is now the American Conference #1 offense team as they lead the conference in goals and assists. Junior Kyle Jennings also took home AAC Player of the Week honors after his hat trick against Liberty last Friday. Coach Scott Calabrese says the team's ability to hold possession has been key in setting up the many scoring chances.
We have players that are good in possession and are strong in possession, so typically we don't turn the ball over in dangerous areas, and it allows us to progress the ball and create good chances.
The game kicks off at 7 p.m. at the UCF Soccer Complex. UCF Athletics is having a ribbon cutting ceremony today at 5 p.m. for the newly renovated football and locker and recruiting rooms. Both facilities will be renamed after the alumni and UCF community members who have donated a total of $7.6 million to UCF. The locker room will be named after Jim and Julia Rosengreen, who donated $6.6 million to UCF, with $1 million going to the athletic program. The recruiting room will be turned into a nutrition facility and will be named after Bob Garby, who donated $1 million to UCF Athletics. Back to you, Liv and Cassidy.
And that's all the time we have for today. Remember that you can keep up with us on our Twitter at UCF Knightly News, and you can follow us during the week on our YouTube channel.
And if you have a story idea you want us to know about, send it our way. You can reach us at nightlynews@ucf.edu. Thanks for watching and have a good day.